Alright, hey guys, I am back with a programming tour of Lost Marble Project. Oh, let me get back here. You hopefully already watched the other video, kind of saw that there's a bunch of levels here. I'm playing a little bit of music in the background because I like showing the game better with some sort of something. Okay. So as far as scripts go for the demo, everything I've done has been through the Unity engine itself and just the editor clicking things to make it work. And not too much has had to be scripted. The main thing is probably the player. This is definitely the main thing, is the scripts for the player rig. Let me open them this way. So it really doesn't take much to make this work. There's like a left marble control script and a right marble control script. They are exactly the same with the exception of the name left and right within them. If I open it up and take a look at it here, it's really not too bad. A lot of variables and things to handle all the controlling. Right now, what needs to get done is have the movement system updated, reworked, and finalized, and then that way I can get started on actual level design and try and so the problem with it currently is just that everything works on some force application, so like the rolling of the marble is just applying a force to it, and it has unintended consequences, and I don't think it's quite right for the style of platformer that we're going for. So I'll just scroll through this real quick. Stuff for the jumping, whether or not the marble's grounded, is it moving, angular momentum, velocity. There's stuff in here to handle the sound, but for the most part it's only 190 lines long. It's well commented and organized, so it's not like a mess or anything. This script here just handles the VFX for the motion trail. That'll get updated and changed once the once the game is using the universal render pipeline to start doing more finalized VFX particle stuff. The other scripts in here, this one isn't used. It was the start of a different way to do audio. I don't know. Maybe it will need used eventually, but it's nothing. This script here is on what I call the marble cage. This is what keeps the marbles from rolling away from each other. I think it has collision set to the inside. Well, it definitely does. But then maybe it allows the marbles to roll back in just in case there is ever a situation where a marble should get outside but not be like falling. So yeah, it has no bottom on it, so they just drop right out. That's how they hit the fall death. It is centered on this target group, which is just empty group. It has a script to keep it in between the two marbles and always be finding that center point. That's a Unity script. It's working great, so nothing there. Yeah, you can see the audio sources here for different marble stuff, the rolling, the jump, the land. Right now we have somebody working on getting new assets for those that he is donating, and then he'll maybe be looking at doing custom score, soundtrack, music, because that's his other thing, is writing music. So let's see. That takes care of the player marbles. Not much. In here, well, there is a script for the start menu that you saw. Super simple, nothing to it. That'll be added on to later. Bunch of unused scripts that just tried doing a custom gravity because of other issues, and tried unused spawn manager. I believe this is not in the scene anymore. Yeah, that's no longer there. Tried doing some custom code for block interactions. I think, yeah, stuff like that will be needed if we upgrade the movement system, which we have to. Um, oh, I forget what this is. Something that didn't get used. Oscillating path, trying to do moving blocks, which I want to do for levels. Problem is though, again, because of the physics-based movement, those moving blocks aren't acting as a source of gravity for the marbles, and we'll get to figuring out that problem later based on whatever the new movement method is. Stuff that is working and is here. I have a little script for the bead coin collect. This just detects a marbles tag. It does the animation for it. This will get built on later and stuff, and integrated into like a wallet system. Script for the checkpoints, that's really straightforward. They work on a really simple bool array. And so essentially you can drag checkpoints into a level endlessly, and they just keep getting added to this array where when a new checkpoint gets triggered, it turns itself on and turns off all the other ones, including overriding like the start. If you don't want checkpoints in, you can just delete them all, and the game manager just automatically points towards the start object as the first spawn point. So pretty neat. I don't know. I was pretty happy when I stumbled into that solution. The double bead, this is for the coin here. It's not quite working. Let me pull it up on the coins and I'll show you, whoever might be watching. It's a really easy script. Pretty much the two coins are linked together to be another array of bools. So if both of them detect a marble and turn to true, they should collect the coin. And it's pretty easy. If compare marble tags, if it's a marble, turn this to true. If it's a marble, turn this coin to true. If both are true, collect the coins. If they roll off of the coin, then turn them back to false. And this handles the animation again, which is working. So let's see if I can trigger this. But for some reason, it's just not detecting. Sorry, I have cords tangled. For some reason, it's just not detecting them properly. But if I manually switch them to true, it will fire the animation and stuff. So not quite sure. Needs to get looked at. Yeah, there it goes. Here's one of those working. Yes. A script for the end goal and just handling, closing the level and getting to the next one. The fall death, that's the invisible death detector ground here that if you fall and hit, you respawn. Real easy stuff, ties in with the game manager. Marble controls and marble controls this file. That's from Unity. I was told to make it by the tutorial. Things work. I'm not touching it. Print the console script. The super jump pad. This is a force jump pad. It has public variables, so you can adjust how much force and the animation of it. Probably the most complicated thing with it is that let me get through it. Dang it. Is just that it has some stuff on it to stop from firing at strange intervals, should the marbles hit it at strange intervals. You can see it has a little animation to it. Works out pretty well. Yeah, that was a weird animation timing on those. That needs updated and smoothed out in the animation menu stuff. It'll get there though. The checkpoints are supposed to be like the white chalk circle people would play marbles in back in the day. It could be changed. I don't know. It works. Alright. a script to handle the line rendering between the beads. This was just hastily put together and mostly done through the editor to get the dotted line going. It'll get updated once we're using Universal Render Pipeline and start looking at better particle effect stuff. But yeah, that is pretty much it for what's here right now. I'll go ahead and cover sort of like the main things that I need to do in the project as far as programming goes. The big one is reworking the movement method and getting that finalized, because then we can start building levels. Based on that, looking at the moving of blocks and objects in the world, that one can maybe wait depending on what happens with level design. But I do think there's good opportunities there with it, and it's a fun mechanic to embrace and pretty easy to do, hopefully. The double coin, that needs to get working. That'll have a lot more integration into future level design, because it'll be the thing that is sort of forcing the player to tackle challenges and obstacle courses simultaneously. I think we're looking at adding a clock to the level and having like a countdown to put that pressure on the player. An overall save system, progress system needs made for the game. I know that's kind of a bigger feat. I think we're just looking at like the old school file 1, 2, 3 system. I think it helps kind of set the tone for the game anyways. A level select UI sort of thing, that's going to be worked with the artists in conjunction for developing the asset, and see what that is. The project is using Unity 6 now, and there is a UI builder, and so maybe that's just on me to go find a tutorial and do it, and that's fine. Part of the game design is to have like a store where you could buy customization stuff for your marbles, so like colors, internal object things, whatever we can pack in there. None of it changes how the game plays or the marbles roll, so I mean technically it's optional. If that's a big long process that is hard to master, then we'll avoid it. Based on if we have that store, like a coin wallet. So, if we have to, collecting these coins could just be part of a score, and whatever that means for the level, kind of like old Super Monkey Ball. The score can be based on like the coins that you collect and the time that you get through the level. But yeah, that is kind of it for what the project needs. The movement, the biggest one at the moment. Anything else though, optional and like, just sort of exploring. Looking at doing more custom puzzles, interactive objects, or like levers and stuff that forces the player to like manipulate the world. That could be part of the level design. Or it cannot. I think the game can survive on being a platformer if there's lots of just fun to be had in the platforming, which there is. It just needs more love and TLC at the moment to really get there and shine. But it's coming. Could look at doing animation stuff on the camera to sort of give it more elasticity, although I think maybe there's just stuff in the camera system already, and it could be increased to sort of give a more feel of velocity when you start rolling or turning or going sideways. So that could be looked at. But yeah, that's kind of it. So hopefully you enjoyed the tour, and hopefully that shows where the project kind of is and where we're hoping to go with it. Thanks.